Hi guys, welcome to the abandoned Soviet spa town in Tsqaltubo, Georgia. This town once was a prosperous spa resort. There were a lot of hotels, sanatorium buildings, water springs. Soviet elites and workers relaxed here. It worked for decades until the Soviet Union collapsed. And now all the buildings are neglected. They are loved by urban explorers, and I love such aesthetics as well. So today we will walk into the former sanatorium buildings. We'll also explore Soviet mosaics, and we will see Stalin's bath, and we will try to get there because I don't know if we will be let in. But at the same time, I want to show you the modern life of this town because it is a misconception to think that it is deserted. Actually, people live here, and even there is a tendency to revive all these hotels. So, let's start. The Balneological Sanatorium of Tskaltubo has a long history, a history of prosperity and decline. The city is famous for its healing waters that were known since the ancient times, and these waters contain radon, which is believed to heal different diseases. And it comes from the fact that Tskaltubo is located on a swamp in a lowland. And in the 1920s, when the Soviet power came here, they started developing this area. So there were 22 different sanatorium buildings and 9 springs with magical water.
Tskaltubo – один из крупных курортов Грузии, богатый радиоактивными минеральными источниками. В последние годы здесь построены новые комфортабельные здравницы. Курс лечения радоновыми ваннами назначается по указанию врача. Tskaltubo стал одним из популярных курортов Советского Союза.
So here we are approaching the first sanatorium, and as I expected, there are already other people and tourists because it is one of the most popular abandoned sanatoriums here. And it's very mindful that the locals found a way to make money on tourists. Yes, some of the sanatoriums, they are less fancy looking as others. But for example, in Metallurgist, and as far as I know, in a couple of others, there are Georgian people at the entrance who charge maybe 5 or 10 lari from you for entering the place. Okay, let's find out. Здравствуйте. А можно зайти посмотреть?
Это привату по 5. Сюда идете. Это санатория Металлургist. В 47-м немцы строили, в 57-м уже отдыхающие вошли, путевка лечиться и отдыхать. Это здесь была директора. Это библиотека. Концертный зал, кинотеатр. Там администрация, доктор, медсестра, бухгалтерия, душ, туалет, школа. Вы остаетесь здесь, я ухожу туда.
Быстро. So the local lady gave a brief tour over the first entrance area, and now we are free to explore. Here I'm sitting at this very comfortable chair, looking at a concert hall, waiting for a theatrical performance. Or maybe not, because it's only the remaining of the begun era. Here's a broken piano. There is a tree growing just through the ground. Imagine how beautiful it looks when it blossoms. In the Soviet times, it was a prosperous place, and it was very cool to get a ticket here, to get it from your union house. Every ministry had their sanatorium. This one was for metallurgy industry workers. That's why it's called Metallurg. There's also a sanatorium for miners and so on. What is there? It's closed. I wonder why. There is another part. This is a shower.
Это была передняя сторона, отсюда выходили отдыхающие, там встречал базик автобус, увозили по назначению времени 6-8 в ванну. Туда идете, бар, кафе, ресторан, кухня.
Wow, look at this amazing chandelier. Here it says Partia, which is a political party, and this one is DRS. What is the DRS? Set for a meat grinder. Wow, this thing is called Шведская стенка, right? Which is a Swedish wall, which is a Soviet ladder for doing gymnastics. I had this in my school. It's in quite good condition. Wow, it's pretty solid. Still working. Wow, look at this shelf. A good old Soviet quality.
Советское качество. Сейчас таких не делают. Тех времен. Раньше было...
There's even an old record book with names, платежная ведомость. Apparently this is a list of people who got ticket to their resort, and it's written in Georgian cursive. What year is this? 1992. Oh, it actually was already after collapse of the USSR. November 1992. Maybe it is a record of the displaced people from Abkhazia who were relocated here. So it's not about the sanatorium. In 1992, the resort found a new purpose. It became a temporary facility for refugees or internally displaced persons from the war in Abkhazia. And they lived here in those buildings for 30 years in very sad conditions. They had to heat the apartments, not supposed for living, it was just hotels, but they lived there and heated it with the burjuika furnace, and they had problems with the running water. Guys, look at this parquet. Imagine how beautifully it looked when this place functioned. Oh, but some of the floors was destroyed because people needed wood to heat their apartments. Pretty sad. And also there are wallpapers because the displaced people tried to recreate living conditions, like as if it was a real apartment. And the government provided them with apartments, but it happened 30 years after. Now, most of the families moved out to their new apartments, but still, in some of them, there are still people living. She turned him away. I'm not sure that it's correct road. Wait. That is part of the experience. Another sanatorium in our list is called Galati. Unlike the others, it's not called after some industry. It is named after a UNESCO cathedral located near Kutaisi. This was the only family sanatorium here. That's why there is a children playground behind it. But we don't know how to get there. Chicken, show us the road. And here it is. Говна коровья. And what is this bell sound? Hello, корова! I thought that bells on the cows is something from like cartoons. Wow. Interesting shape. I don't know how to get there. I think I found an entrance, and because I don't have any other... No, it's too small. Let's go. Here's some bridge. For a children playground, it looks very unusual. And it's full of different mosaics as well. Very cool. Usually it is devoted to some mythical stories or again different industry workers, but here, because it is for kids, it's just cute animals. Antelope, eagle, and quite a real dog. It's quite scary. Imagine you're a Soviet kid, your typical Soviet family worked hard to get this ticket, and now you got to play in such a cool playground. Wow. And then you can slide down those slides. I'm not sure if it's a slide. This is the Soviet version of SpongeBob SquarePants. This is Patrick. This is SpongeBob, apparently. This looks like traditional costumes of different ethnicities. Maybe it symbolizes the notorious Soviet friendship of the peoples, people of different ethnicities, building communism together. And now only dogs are resting in this sanatorium. Communism promised an impossible utopia where everyone would have their own house. But capitalism also has its flaws, or should I say, paws. Hello, so I came here for the house tour. Where is the house? Can you show it to me? Honey, you're looking at it. But this is just an abandoned building. Honey, in this economy, it is the best deal you can get. This sanatorium is called Geologist, and it's not that fancy in comparison with the Metallurgist, but still, I like this entrance. It's so posh. Do you think so? Anyway, our landlord, Karen Bark, graciously showed me another unit, shaped like a UFO, no less. And this area is called the bathhouse number 8. And there are some teenagers taking pictures there because, oh my god, this place is indeed amazing. Banksy loser. This place is actually bigger than I thought, because on Google Maps there was a photo showing only one of these bathtubs, and it looks like this. It's made in the shape of a flower, and I thought that this is the place itself, but actually there are many of such flowers here. And these pots are surrounding the center of the flower, which was a fountain. Here it said that it's life-threatening to enter this area, so if you're visiting this place, be careful. The spa town operated for nearly 70 years until the USSR dissolved. Imagine, entire generations spent their vacations here, laughing, making friends. Life flourished. There were libraries, theaters, and even a direct train from Moscow to Tskaltubo. Local arts. Thanks for the female genitals representation. Massage Natalie. It's another version of my name, Natalia. But I have a feeling that it's not the regular massage that I got at the hotel. There's a common misconception that Tskaltubo is a deserted town, almost like Chernobyl, and there's nobody here. But actually, it is still a town where people live, and this building is quite new. This is another sanatorium, it's called Tbilisi, and the building is very posh and beautiful. But also you can see that there is a construction going on, because they are going to renovate this building. In the last decades, the Georgian government attempted to renovate and revive this sanatorium somehow, but it was unsuccessful. But in 2018, several buildings were put on the auction, and several Georgian businesses and other bought these buildings, and hopefully they will bring these facilities back to life. And one of the most beautiful buildings here is the sanatorium called Shakhter. It means miner. Unfortunately, or maybe it's for the better, it was bought by some business. It is cordoned off by fences. And actually, I watched some other YouTuber who said that you can pay 20 lari to the security there, and maybe he will let you in. And that building is different from others because it is the most preserved one. And there you can see the beautiful concert hall with the red curtain hanging there. It's a very cool place for taking pictures.
Санаторий Министерства угольной промышленности СССР. Зрительный зал на 500 мест. Столовая. В Tskaltubo много минеральных источников.
I was surprised to learn that there are even functioning resorts, and now we will see one of them. This is the spring number 6, and this facility is still functioning. Joseph Stalin famously had a private bathroom in this building, and now I want to visit it. It seems that this is the famous Stalin's pool, but the window is purposely blurred so that we cannot see it. I heard that Stalin himself is depicted somewhere on the facade of this building, but I cannot find it. I found it, yes, here he is. Stalin and happy workers. Imagine you own a private bathtub and even make a picture of yourself, very modest. But it seems that they will not let us in because, well, the working hours are over. But tomorrow we'll try to enter it and ask if we can visit the pool of Stalin.
В ванном здании, кроме индивидуальных кабин, есть и бассейн. Здесь занимаются лечебной гимнастикой. На курорт приезжают трудящиеся со всех концов.
So, attempt number 2. გამარჯობა. შევიძლია ვნახოთ სტალინის საბანო?
კი, მარჯვენა მხარესა.
The receptionist said we have to go to the right. Oh my god. I'm so glad that he let us in. შეგიძლია ვნახოთ სტალინის საბანო? კი. ეს? კი. მადლობა. Not what I expected. Probably here it is. What? Here it says, I feel like I'm inside an Egyptian pyramid or something. I'm not a fan of dictators, but getting up close to something so tied to a historical figure feels surreal. And here there's a Soviet panel on the bottom. Sea creatures and the sun. Nima, is it you? Imagine the Soviet leader sitting here, enjoying all these water massage procedures, looking at those funny fish and thinking who else from your inner circle will go to the gulag next. There are some letters here. It says somewhere. Oh my god, I got hurt from the peaky edge of this mosaic. Even now, Stalin is making my life worse. I wanted to add some historical accuracy, but turns out there's no official photo of the Soviet leader bathing here. ChatGPT refused to generate an image of topless Stalin in a bath. Even machines have feelings. So I decided to create it myself using this frosty video of Pavel Durov. By the way, he kind of looks like young Stalin and, well, they both share a certain fondness for the KGB. So that was quite an interesting experience. Now let's go somewhere else. Now I want to share my emotions from visiting this place. You know, I feel at peace and I'm very relaxed. Firstly, I did not expect that this place will be so nice and lively actually, because the only photos and videos I saw about Tskaltubo is this Chernobyl-like footage, you know. But what I saw was quite a nice resort area. There is some functioning hotel and I'm staying in one of them, and now I want to share my impressions. I am so relaxed. I went to a water massage yesterday. It is when they use streams of water to massage your body under the water, and it feels not so very hard but relaxing at the same time. I also went to feet massage and head massage. Today I went to charcoal shower. Oh my god, it was stronger than underwater massage because they literally shoot a stream of water at you and massage your muscles. Also, there are pretty good restaurants here. I went to one of them. It looked fancy and there were lots of people. So we ordered chicken tabaka. Khachapuri, 2 hinkali, baked mushrooms, and a teapot. And for this all we paid just 28 USD dollars. And the food was delicious. And I think... And so it's such a big contrast after those decrepit buildings that I saw. But I want to point out that I did not try that healing water of Tskaltubo because you can experience this only if you go to the spring number 6. The water I had was pretty regular. Maybe I'm missing a lot. At the same time, I don't quite believe in the magical properties of that water. And there is no proven evidence that it actually heals rheumatoid arthritis, for example, or other diseases that they claim to heal. What I think really makes a difference is the overall care that you get here, from massages, from the good diet, walking around the forests and listening to the birds. Hello, dog. You see, even dogs are relaxed here. And I could show you Tsqaltubo as the ghost town where nobody lives in and only dogs claim this place. But I purposely showed you the modern part of this town because by this video I want to kind of breathe life into the idea of reviving this place. So these were my adventures in Tsqaltubo. Push the like button if you like this video, write comments, subscribe to my channel. You can also support my channel by becoming a sponsor here on YouTube or on my Patreon. And a policeman just showed thumb up to me. All the links are in the description of this video. Thanks for watching and goodbye. Пока-пока.